I'll go first.
And then that's where the stitch happens.
Yeah.
My favorite one of those right now is the like, show me the most ghetto thing in your house.
You sent me a couple of those and I was like, oh my God.
There
Is
was
that
one-
a Pringles can with holes in it?
Yes, for the shower.
Hello and welcome to Hardly Working, the show about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm Kelly.
And I'm SP.
And today we have stuff to update you on about our house.
You did it like the old videos we used to shoot.
I know.
Today, we're talking about food safety. You might not know this, but Kelly was a star of numerous training videos, which is funny because so am I. But I don't work for any of the companies that I do the training videos
I realized
for.
I should have got paid more money to do those training videos.
Oh, yeah.
Looking back at what you make versus what I made. And
which was nothing for the videos.
No,
It's just a part of your salary.
I know, and it is very odd because the way that the company works is that anything you create while working for the company then belongs to the company.
Yeah.
But those training videos are circulating around the valley. Like multiple operators have them. And so multiple people just see my face randomly.
People know you. You'll go into certain restaurants and they'll be like, are you the girl from the videos?
It's like, don't forget to eat more chicken. Yeah, that's me.
But we're not here for training videos. Oh, no. We're here for another episode of Hardly Working. I didn't have anywhere to go from there. I mean, I've got a full show planned, but I was like, now I'm redoing the intro.
Shall we kick it off with like what's happening in our world right now?
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me, Bridgerton. What?
I was sure you were going to say House, but you said Bridgerton.
That is pretty big too.
Tell me about
Bridgerton season 3 came out. Everybody,
the first 4 episodes.
And I have watched the first 4 episodes. I'm not going to lie. I was feeling an internal battle because our house also is in the middle of being fixed. We've been in painting mode and we leave tomorrow. And so we had like 2.5 days to try to get every room in our house painted, which we've done a pretty good job. We're not going to get one of them painted. One of them will not be getting
rooms.
One of the rooms will not be getting painted.
I just love that was your dilemma. You're like, do I have 4 hours
to
watch Bridgerton? And I was like, do I even have time to do a podcast? But you were like, can I be entertained by television for 4 hours?
It was a big deal for me. Like I was really excited. I was going to have a Bridgerton like launch party with a few friends over. I was going to have like the tea. I didn't even open my Bridgerton countdown box.
We took it over to the house and just left it there.
I'm not going to do it today. I'll do it when I get home. But I like had the Bridgerton soap and I got the candle. Thank you, Amy. I have like the teacups and the teapot and tea. And I was going to get scones. I was going to do the whole thing and have some friends come over and we were going to watch episode 1, maybe episode 2, maybe all 4, who knows, of Bridgerton. And then our house flooded and everything.
Everything has changed post-flood.
Yeah.
Everything has changed.
I was going to curse.
But not your love of Bridgerton. That's still there.
No, but it was a weird balance because I was like, I really want to watch it, but also our house needs to get done. But like also it's like one of the only things that I feel I'm like, yes, I love this so much that I want to watch it like right away. So I did wake up at what, like 7?
Yeah.
And I like flipped the TV on yesterday.
Yeah.
And was like laying in bed watching a Bridgerton episode while you, kind sir, got up and made me coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Made us a breakfast sandwich we could split as I'm just watching 2 episodes of Bridgerton.
I like when you're happy.
I know.
It's
I
fun
appreciate
for
it.
me.
It's great. It's amazing. I think people have mixed emotions about it. I love it. The nods to the book are incredible.
Yeah, if you're coming in late to the show and don't know this about Kelly, she's not just a Bridgerton the series fan.
No,
she's read over 20 of the books.
All of the books, all of the spinoffs, all of the short story
all the
ones.
fan fiction that I've written for her. That's not true.
That's not true. There's no fan fiction that you've written for me yet. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I really do enjoy the story. And God, spoilers, everybody. But Francesca's storyline is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And they start to play at her storyline in this one. And I know people are probably going to be upset. If you haven't read the book, you don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. I, however, absolutely freaked out when a character was introduced. Like totally freaked out. You were on a call with John.
Yeah.
And I had my headphones on and was going, nah! Like freaking out because I was wondering what they were going to do. And then they introduced him and I was like so excited. So for those of you that don't understand Francesca's storyline, don't write her off yet. Hers is the best, but it takes time.
You know, the best stories do. I also just dropped my iPad on the floor.
I know, I heard. Okay, anyways, sorry. And it's probably boring talk for anyone that's like Bridgerton. I love it. If you haven't
it's
seen it,
boring for
it's
me
okay.
because I've never watched Bridgerton. It's not boring, but
it's great.
I don't know who Frances is or
Francesca.
Need I say more? It's hard to keep up with all the names of all the shows you watch. I was just starting to get into
They're in
understanding the
alphabetical order,
names
so you can remember Anthony,
of Game of Thrones.
Benedict, Colin, Daphne, Eloise, Gregory, and Hyacinth. Oh, Francesca, Gregory, and Hyacinth. Is that helpful? It's all in
Not at
alphabetical
all.
order.
Not even a little. But thank you. You want to know what makes me happy?
That our house is being done?
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay, what makes you happy?
That our house is being done. But we did realize, we're like, the rest of it is kind of up to us. The ceilings have been put up, all the tile is out, and we started painting everything. We already talked a little bit about it, so I won't belabor it. But our schedule, we leave tomorrow for 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
And then come back and get our kid.
Also, tomorrow is Pat's birthday.
Yeah.
And then our anniversary is the day after we get back. So it's a busy week of celebrations too. Not that you like celebrating your birthday, but
Some might say we're dancing through life.
oh my God.
Yeah, it's a big week coming up. And I'm thinking that probably our next episode, I'm not sure if it'll be our next one or the one after, but it is our 5-year anniversary coming up. And I might just ask you to put down, 5 thoughts, 5 things you've learned or something. 5
Nothing.
ways that I've changed your life forever.
None.
Oh,
Just kidding.
5 reasons you have the best husband. I haven't figured out exactly what the 5 things are, but one for each year. I think that might be fun.
Sure.
For working through it.
Sure.
Yeah, we shall see. But I'm excited. Let's stay married.
Sounds good to
But
me.
you know what actually makes me happy?
What?
Hosting pizza competitions.
Oh, I forgot you did that.
Good Lord, I had a blast yet again. This is my
Yeah.
second year hosting this pizza competition in the KCC3 Pizza Arena, where we had 4 chefs going head to head over the course of an hour to woo the judges and wow them with their custom pizzas.
I know it's weird. It doesn't feel like enough time to make a pizza. I totally understand that it is
They only get 13 minutes
to make a pizza, to
from
cook
start to finish.
it, to cook it.
Yes.
What if you had to cook something that goes on top of it, like sausage?
I mean, I think all of those toppings are cooked already. Probably, like most of those are like deli meats and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they have to do it fast because the store, Casey's, has to make pizzas quickly. And so to paint the picture here, because I don't have any footage to show, it's a huge stage with a giant projector. We've got, I think, 6 judges behind us who are going to taste and rate the pizzas. We've got 4 chefs making pizzas. And imagine not like a flat square stage, but like a diamond shape. So it kind of goes out to a point in the center of the audience. They have all these floor seats, all these bleachers. It was insanity. But so there's 2 chefs on each side. They each have like a hand washing and sanitizing station. And then they all have a prep station and one of those conveyor belt ovens. So so they're cooking it live right there. And I'm going up. I'm like, all right, you're from Division 1. What are you making today? I'm making a pickle pizza. They didn't win. There was a Kansas City style barbecue pizza. There was a double-decker Chicago style pizza. And the one that won was a chorizo breakfast pizza.
That was probably good.
It wooed the judges and it held down the championship title for Division 3 for
Wow.
the 3rd year in a row.
Do these pizzas then get introduced into Casey's as
I
like
don't know.
pizzas that they then make?
You see, I come in and I host it and I have a blast. And
You don't get to-
the clients loved it. They came up to me. They're like, we don't have the dates yet, but hold the first week of May next year because we need you back. And I was like, yeah, that is what my ego needs, to be told that. But I've never had the chance to try the pizzas. And frankly, I'm not thinking about it usually. Although something that was weird that's never happened to me was as I went to the judges and I was like, all right, what do you see out there? What's got you excited? What's got you a little worried? That kind of stuff. One of the dudes just hands me a Coors beer in a can. He's like, this is for you, SP. Thanks for being here. And I was like, can I open this? I'm going to do it. And I opened it. Cheers to him. Cheers to everybody. Crowd went crazy. Took a sip. Left it somewhere else. But it was so much fun. This is the stuff that I want to be doing more of.
I know.
And it's hard because there's not a ton of opportunity, but hopefully we can take some footage from that, make a little reel, pitch a few shows and see what happens.
Yeah, it'd be super fun.
But I had a freaking blast in Kansas City.
That's great.
It was good times. And shout out to my buddy Joel, who had a wonderful dinner and hang after the event. It's one of those weird events that ended at 4:30 or something.
It's an hour long. So what do you do for the basically 45 minutes prior to them starting cooking? Or I guess it would probably be more like 40 to 35 minutes because there's time for judging and announcing.
Yeah. So if for those of you interested in events or just interested in our lives, here's how this works. I'll do it quickly. So I go out there. They did a VOG for me that they wrote. If you don't know, that's just like a voiceover that you hear. VOG is voice of God. And it was like Backed by popular demand, the #1 competitive pizza cooking championship host, the man who spent years cooking frozen pizzas and never burning one. Like, it was like super fun and
good.
cheesy. So I come out there, I get everybody pumped up. They're already freaking out.
Of course.
Like their energy is just beyond. My eardrums were wobbling. Have you ever been in a place so loud that your eardrums are like
Taylor Swift.
Yes. This was my Eras tour is what it was.
But you were there. You remember how loud it was.
Yeah, it was bad. I also believe I had earplugs at that show. Anyway, I go out there and I'm like, hey, introduction, blah, blah, blah. Here's what we're doing. Let's do some cheers. Each division like cheers to see how loud they can go. That's amazing. We're going to give you a prize later for the division that cheers the loudest. I bring out one of their senior VPs. He does some stuff. They have a championship belt too, like a heavy wrestling style belt. It's crazy. They gave that out. So we do all that. Then I introduce the judges, bring all of them out. There's 6 of them. After that, we throw it to a video that kind of talks about the whole competition and the competitors. I bring all the competitors out. The competitor that won, she was carried out on, I don't know how to describe it, but think like ancient Egypt or ancient Rome, actually, where
It's a queen's throne. Yeah. It's like
yeah,
a
where
thing.
they like,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like an old stretcher thing, you know, 4 people hold
But
it,
they're, like,
but there's like,
waving, yeah.
So she came out to the song, The Sound of Silence from Donnie Darko. It was very chill and morbid. And then it cut to, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. It was awesome.
And she did win. Win, no matter what.
Yeah. Anyway, so they cook, they judge, we give away the prizes, and that's how it works. So it was a freaking blast. Casey's, thanks for having me.
Would love to go next time.
Yes,
If you're
she'd love to
listening,
go. I'd love
I just
to
want
host
to be
forever.
there. I don't need to have any pizza. I want pizza. I don't need to. But I just want to be there.
It was good times.
But our house, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of hit some of those pieces. Anything left for you?
I just want to say that I'm very excited about our house and kind of the remodel that's happened because of the terrible tree trimming incident and the hole in the roof in the rain. Very excited about it. And I'm hoping to show it off a little bit on our Instagram. And we've already been showing like the process, but have some big goals, but we might be asking your help for some things if we can't decide on some stuff. So
Yeah. And thank you for everybody who's been hanging out on our Instagram. That's Hardly Working Insta. We've been posting a lot of that process there. And it's been fun getting feedback from you guys. So thank you. We'll keep doing that there. But yeah, we'll keep doing stuff like that. We're deciding on floors right now. So maybe we'll push on something about All right, you ready to jump into the show?
it was very Ben Schwartz and what's her name? The other Missy. That's not her name.
She's so good. Lauren Lapkus.
Yeah.
She's so funny. All right.
Maybe will.
You ready to jump in?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So I had a great time last week. We did some games, we did some videos and that kind of stuff. Well, we're not going quite as heavy on that. It's more of a normal, hardly working episode this week.
Sure.
I do have a couple things I want to do.
All right, I'm ready.
I have not told you any of these things.
No.
So first, I have a very short, very quick game. It's 4 things that you're going to try to guess, okay?
Okay.
Now,
What type of things?
I'm just going to think of a
4
thing
things.
and you just try to guess it.
And just go.
No, so you worked in food service for a long time.
I did work in food service for a long time.
Now you never
10
waitered
years.
at tables, right? Never did that?
I did catering for a year or so.
Okay. Did you ever get tips when you were catering?
Yes. I also, for 2 weeks, worked at my uncle's restaurant.
What? I didn't know
When
this.
I was very young. Yeah.
And you were like a waitress?
Mhm.
Is that
I
the
was
correct
very-
term now? Do we still say waitress?
Well, I don't care.
How
Not
old were
offending
you?
me. Young. Probably
Like
early
too young
teens.
to be working?
Probably. Yeah, early teens.
Dang.
Family-owned
Tracy's?
business.
Whose?
Tim's. Uncle Tim.
Ah.
And Rayanne.
Was it up in Northern
Visalia.
California?
Mhm.
Dang. Okay, so you have a little bit of
A
experience
little
there as
bit
well.
of experience.
Not just food service, but also waiting tables.
Yeah, I was terrible at it because I have very weak wrists.
You got the baby bird wrist.
And so, like, especially catering, you have to carry out those large trays.
Uh-huh.
And I have really struggled.
Yeah.
And normally people would just help me, which is great. I was really great at serving people. I just couldn't, like, physically lift 9 plates with food on it on a big tray and carry it out. That's an intense thing to do.
It is.
I hope my baby bird wrist can't do it. Okay, I'm ready.
So I came across this video that
Okay.
I found interesting and intriguing, so I
By the
cut
way,
it up.
I think it's hysterical that you just learned something new about me, like right now. You had no idea any of
No,
those things.
I didn't know there was another stone to be
Unturned, and there it is.
unturned. No, not to be unturned. A stone that was unturned.
Was unturned.
So what I did,
Yes.
was I took this video that I found and I chopped it up into 4 things. This is a video that a girl, probably, I think college age, looks like she's in her dorm. She waits tables and she's a server.
Okay.
And she said, I'm going to try 4 different hairstyles to see what if it affects the outcome of my tips.
You were telling me about this a little
yes.
bit.
Yes. So I'm going to show you, and don't worry if you're listening, you'll hear us describe it as well, because she's trying 4 different hairstyles. Maybe you can describe the hairstyle as well so people at home can hear it. So here is the first one.
Is it a video?
Yes, but you won't hear too much music because of the or sound because of that. So trying the server theory to see which gets the most tips in terms of hairstyle. And go.
Trying the server hair theory to see which gets me the most tips. Thursday, braided pigtails.
It's exactly what it is. They're braided pigtails.
Her hair's pretty short though. When she braids them, it barely goes past her shoulders.
I don't think that's going to get her very many tips.
Okay. So you're thinking that's pretty low on the list.
Yeah.
If you need to grab your whiteboard, you can grab it. Because I'm not going to tell you how much it got. So first one is braided pigtails.
Hold on. Just cleaning. Because we didn't clean it before. Sorry. Braided pigtails.
All right. So that's the first one.
But you're not going to guess because you can't.
I already know it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just writing down what it is. Braided pigtails. Okay.
All right. Next one is
Friday, bubble ponytail.
Bubble ponytail. Can you describe that a little bit, Kel?
The bubble ponytail is when you put your hair in a ponytail, but then you, like every half inch or inch or so, you put another band in it, and then you kind of tease it up so that it's a little bit of a bubble.
Nice. So where does that go for you?
That's higher.
You think you'll get more tips with the bubble ponytail?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Ready for the third one?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Third one is
Saturday,
braided ponytail, which is like double braids coming together into a normal ponytail. Double braids on the top of the head coming into a normal ponytail.
Yeah. I think that's pretty low too.
You think that's low?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready for the last one?
Yeah, I am.
Last one is
Sunday,
low ponytail.
That's the lowest.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's what I thought too.
Am I wrong?
I'm not going to tell you. And I am trying to mislead you a bit as well. So follow your instincts. That's what I'm saying. All right. So now that you've got them written out and they're kind of in the order you want, I'm going to play the whole video, which also has the amount of tips that she got as well as what it would come out to per hour. Let's check it out.
trying the server hair theory to see which gives me the most tips. Thursday, braided pigtails.
Braided pigtails brings in
Tips,
$191.30 for $27 an hour.
bubble ponytail.
Bubble ponytail,
Tips,
she made $160.90 for $22 an hour.
Saturday,
Braided ponytail comes out to
tips,
$220.21 for $27 an hour.
Sunday,
Wow.
ponytail.
And the low ponytail,
Tips,
$81.10
So that one, I
for
was right.
$11 an hour. You know, why do you think the last one was so low?
Because it doesn't compliment you and it's kind of lazy.
It looks like you're tired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that's why, honestly, the bubble ponytail made her look the most, I think, awake and alive, even though that one didn't. So it's funny. The braided
Yeah, how many
ones,
did you get right in
just-
position?
Just the last one.
Really?
Yeah. Well, these ones were tied.
For dollar amount?
I really thought that the bubble ponytail would be the highest.
Where did that land?
That, I guess,
Tied
technically
for-
third.
Oh,
It was only
third.
22 hours, $22 an hour.
Yeah.
I'm going by hourly. It's $22 an hour. Where the braided ones, the braided pigtails and
Yeah.
the braided ponytail got her $27
And I think
an
it's
hour.
because it looks more put together, maybe?
Yeah, the bubble ponytail, I think maybe I just like it more.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm like, I know how that takes a lot of time to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, you like woke up and took the time and we're there. But the low ponytail, I knew. I got that one right. I was like,
Yeah, I had that feeling
it's
too.
not going to be very great.
So what's the
Not
verdict
great.
then? If you're a server and you have long hair, try what hairstyle to get the most tips? Which one?
Either braided pigtails or braided ponytail, I guess.
So braid that hair and
Braid it.
put it in a tail of sorts.
I mean, the bubble ponytail wasn't too bad. $22 is great.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So-
But one was 27, right?
Two of them. The
Two of
braided
them.
ones were both 27.
That's pretty
Don't
significant.
do a low pony though. It's not
Nope.
gonna make you anything. I'm sure she was bummed that she did that. Never gonna do a low ponytail
She seemed
again.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the hairstyle though. Who knows? Maybe she just seemed that way because it looked bad.
I don't know.
Anyway, thanks for humoring me with my little game.
You told me about that a couple of days ago, and I thought that would be very interesting to see like what happened.
Yeah. You're like, but it wasn't.
No, it was. But it's funny. She didn't. I wish she would have tried more, like just a regular high ponytail.
Yeah, there could be a part 2.
Yeah, who knows?
I can go check it out.
I think about my time in food service. Most of my hairstyles were like high ponytail or French braid.
Yeah.
Or pigtail, like braided pigtails.
Yeah,
that was kind of it.
You don't wear your
There's
hair
so
like
many
that
options.
anymore.
There's like space buns now. Yeah. That's all that I got right off the top of my head. Space buns. There's fishtails. There's headbands. You could do so much stuff. You
so
wear a
many
hat.
Opportunities.
Yeah, I guess
so
you
many
wear a hat.
things.
But yeah. Anywho.
Well, now you know, y'all. Thanks for playing the game. You ready to jump into some stories?
Yeah.
So this next one, I was reading it, and it had a video attached, and I was like, it was an okay story until I got to the video, and then it became a great story.
Okay.
So here's the first story that I stumbled into. Mom accidentally invites all 470 contacts in her phone to her daughter's first birthday party.
417.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I was like, that seems kind of low. 487.
87.
How many contacts do you have?
Do you want
have
me
your
to
phone
look?
over there? Yeah.
More than I probably need. It's time to go through it.
Go to contacts and then scroll all the way to the bottom. Mine is 3,277.
Well, you have more than me.
But that's because something happened years ago. My phone connected like Facebook or something and made an insane amount of duplicate contacts.
Yeah, I know. I have 1,358 contacts.
Wow. That's a lot.
And it's funny. I came down to the bottom, which is like the numbers. I was supposed to say hashtags.
Yeah.
I could probably delete a bunch of these. I'm like, all of these are like high school people. Sorry.
Yeah.
Except for
Deleted.
Natalie from 90210. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you on
That show that I did that one time?
You ready to watch this, like the actual video that made the story so much better to me?
Yes.
All right, check it out.
I just made an Evite for my daughter's first birthday party. And on Evite, it says import contacts. And I thought it meant import to select through. No, it imported all 487 of my contacts and invited them to this birthday party. Not only did it invite my boss, all of my coworkers, all of the people that have ever been stored in my phone, but it sent an invitation based off of how they're stored in my phone. And I want you to just take a second and think about everyone stored in your phone and how they're stored in your phone. And then imagine them receiving an invitation. Derek Eyeroll, he received an invitation.
Derek Eyeroll.
Jess hit her car in parking lot. Anyways, I have to quit or get a new identity. I don't even know.
How amazing
I would just
is that?
cancel it's incredible. I would just cancel the invitation. I would say this.
I would cancel my phone contract.
No, but you know what I mean? I'd be like, I'm done.
But the email's already it's gone. It's out.
But it doesn't matter. You could be like, oh, weird.
So weird.
It's not there anymore. If you just cancel it and you just do a new one, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but everyone just got okay. This should serve as a warning for people.
I'm not going to do that.
Here's the deal. Sometimes, particularly with email, if you save someone in your phone or even your computer as something, sometimes when you email them and like that person goes to respond, it will show up the way you have like stored in your phone.
Yeah.
I knew this because we got an email from our property manager once and you were on there under your normal email, except it said 107 Kellie girlfriend, which isn't even correct. But that's how you were listed in his phone.
That's so funny.
So let this video be a warning to you to not save people's things in your phone as something
now
stupid.
I'm wife.
Like Crazy Ex or...
I'm going to start doing that.
Or...
For like my siblings.
Diarrhea Queen.
Yeah. I'm going to start doing that for my siblings and my mom and my dad.
Saving their names as weird things.
Yeah. Because then when I send stuff out, they'll be like, "What in the world?" It would be hysterical if you did that and you saved them as something. It would be absolutely hysterical. They'd laugh so hard.
I do get worried though because I save people in my phone typically based on like what event I'm doing with them.
And it was just so funny because I do that in the biz or like the business name, but you attach it as like their last name.
No, I usually put it in the notes section on the bottom.
There's like a business name for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't get attached when you send. That's what I do. So when I search for it, it still shows up.
Smart. Hey, speaking of how you save people in your phone and stuff, I save my mom in my phone as her full name.
I know.
Your parents,
Mom and daddy.
Yeah. What's up with that?
It's just how they've always been in my phone.
That's
Mom and daddy. Yeah.
that's so weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm the
At
weird
least it's
one.
not papa
Is that a
or
Bridgerton thing?
mama
Is that Bridgerton?
or anything like that. Daddy-o.
It will be from
I don't
now
know.
on.
You know, that's just how it always was. And then my mom was really big on the like ICE number, like the in case of emergency.
Oh yeah, I get emails from people that it'll say like someone's attached and it's like ice, baby doll, spouse's name. And I'm like, what is this?
I think I've changed it now to make you my ICE.
It doesn't matter anymore because people can't get into the phone. They can't call your emergency contact.
I think they can. I think if you set it up a certain way, they can call you emergency contact.
That should be a thing though.
Because I should be able, like if something were to happen, I should be able to like either press that side of your thing or say, hey, you know who,
yeah.
call like emergency contact. And it should do that.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened? So I was doing a gig not too long ago and someone lost their phone and they gave it to me. That happens a lot because I'm on stage and easily accessible. And what I learned was you can ask you know who, the girl, SIRI. I just don't want to trigger people's phones. Whose phone is this? Or who does this phone belong to? And I think they at least typically give you the first name, if not both names, which we didn't know. Because what I used to do was just say like, hey, so-and-so, call mom.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, hi, I have someone's phone. Just wondering who this phone belongs to. But yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, that's smart. I didn't think about that. You could always say, call mom.
Yeah.
You can say, call my husband on mine and it'll call you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Or like if there's a text message or something on there, you can't open it, but you can see like it's from Greg and you'd be like, call Greg.
Oh, that's
And
true.
you'd be
Yeah.
like, whose phone is this?
Hi there.
We have her kidnapped.
I didn't steal it. someone turned it in.
Oh, that's true. Oh boy.
Anywho.
Sorry, I'll be honest. I'm distracted in this moment.
Yeah.
Can I talk about why?
Yeah.
So we're about to do this big nursing conference. I just got a text about it. It says,
If we put stuff on Do Not Disturb
I know that's my
before we
bad.
start our podcast.
I always need to be disturbable.
What
I actually
happened?
hate being disturbed. Nothing happened. But here's what happened last night. So my buddy John and I are doing a breakout session at this conference. This is a nursing conference we do every year. It's one of my favorite events that I get to do. Truly, like top two. It could have been number one if we cooked pizzas at this event.
Maybe we will. Who knows?
No, this is like one of my favorite things to host and to be a part of. This was the first year that John and I are doing a breakout session, which means it's not just in the super session, which I'm doing, which is like 8 or 10,000 nurses. This is like they get to choose what educational session they want to go to. And we're doing one of those. And I figured, I was like, we might get, 50, 100 people. Like these people are here to really learn like actual medical stuff.
Yeah.
And we're just talking about burnout. We're not teaching on it, how to come back from it, that kind of stuff. And then I got an email yesterday that was like, just so you know, we saw the room. It's set up for 900 people. I was like, what? And that doesn't worry me. I'm happy being in front of people, but it's a lot different than the 50 to 100 that I thought.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and by the way, while people sign up when they get to the conference, you can sign up before as well for your breakouts. And there's already 400 people going to your session.
I'm assuming your session will probably be close to full. 901 because I'm the one. I'm not registered, but I'll be there.
My gosh. It was just such a weird thing where I was like, oh, there's some expectation here.
You better have some good stuff.
Time to start writing, I guess. By the time people are listening to this, it will have already happened.
That's true. So it went great.
It did.
I have no idea.
I hope so. Well, tune in next week and we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right. It's going on Do Not Disturb now.
Thank you so much.
So sorry. That is on me.
Wow.
All right. You ready for another story?
Always.
Everybody, calm down. Let's take this slow. Let's not make any hasty presuppositions as I take this line by line.
I know.
Catholic
No
priest.
promises.
Catholic priest. Stay with me. Stay with me.
Oh, God.
Spends $40,000.
Oh, God.
Stay with me. Hold. Of church money. Hold.
On what?
On
Prostitutes?
Candy Crush
Oh.
and slot machine apps.
On gambling, the other sin.
My
bad.
Actually, he addresses that. He doesn't consider it gambling every time he made a microtransaction. He considered it leveling up.
Yeah, he's leveling up. He's investing in it.
Boy, we justify the things that we want to do, don't we?
Catholic priests.
Not something I want to do.
Some would say that might be just as bad as the Catholic priest who let Sabrina Carpenter do her feather music video
I don't know.
in their sacred church building.
I don't know what that means. Is that the murder on the dance floor lady?
No. Sabrina Carpenter.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God. I don't even know.
Is it worth talking about?
No, but she did a feather video.
Yeah.
You don't know that song?
Nope. Keep going. I'll probably get it.
Okay. Anyways, but she's in like a really short dress, and she's like in this she approached a Catholic priest in like a church and asked if she could do a music video, and he said yes, of course. And then he got so much like backlash for it because people were upset about it because you should watch it. It's great. It goes against everything the church would stand for. It was hysterical.
Why would she ask to do it there?
Because that's the point. Is she's like, I'm doing a music video.
That kind of sucks to like trick somebody though.
I don't think she tricked them. I think she was straightforward and honest with what she wanted to do.
Yes, I'm sure she went in and she was like, hey, can I shoot a music video in here that goes against everything you believe and hold sacred?
I don't think she did anything like satanic or anything like that. But like it just wasn't great. But like also they probably got a lot of money for it because they had to pay them for the venue to like do that. And the priest said it was fine. So I don't know. People were mad.
I bet they were.
Anyways, so I just think it's funny. We'll put them together.
Yeah,
they can go together in the same place.
All right, here's the details about this Catholic priest, though. A Pennsylvania priest is facing criminal charges after police say he stole thousands of dollars of church funds and used them for app store transactions like virtual slot machines. Mario Kart.
That one isn't leveling up. That's literally gambling.
Well, I don't know if I put it here in my notes. You can't win money in these virtual slot machines, but you have to use real money to play it.
Yeah.
So it's stupid.
Yeah.
But he also spent it on Mario Kart, Candy Crush, and Pokemon Go. Look.
That's still a thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's still big.
Sorry.
I don't know how old this priest is. I'm guessing 12 based on the games that he's playing. Here's what it says, though. A criminal complaint, an affidavit of probable cause, alleged that Lawrence Kozak, a former pastor at this
not
place,
anymore,
spent over $214,000.
That's a lot of money
on his Apple ID, and that just under $44,000 of that was charged to a credit card associated with the parish. Over 2,000 transactions marked as gaming were in the document from September 2019 to 2022. Now, part of what I wanted to talk to you about is you're a big iPad gamer.
I am.
You've been known to do some microtransactions.
I have been.
Is this a shocking number for you?
Yes.
2,000?
No. 200,000.
2,000 transactions marked as gaming over the course of 3 years.
No, that feels like a lot.
Right. That's like what?
Here's the deal.
700 a year?
It's a lot. There are certain games that I'm like, yeah, I'll play and like I'll level up. But for the most part, I'll do it a couple of times and then I'll be like, okay, like you probably need to find a new game. Because it's like, I don't want to pay for it every single time. I don't want to do this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not a crazy person. Sometimes I just like, well, if you don't have to, listen, if you don't have to pay for the game, if it's a free game, you can download.
Yeah.
But like but maybe in order to keep going, you have to purchase something. There's like a certain extent that I'm like, oh, I would have bought a game on here for that cost. So if I can keep playing for like, that's fine with me. Like my puzzle game.
Yes.
That was free.
Which is not a game of puzzles. It is like a mystery game.
Well, it's a bunch of mystery games.
Puzzles.
There's like 50 of them. And you get a key to unlock a level every 2 hours. And so sometimes I didn't want to wait, but it was free.
I can vouch for it because I get all the emails and the receipts.
Yeah.
You haven't gone too crazy.
No,
you have spent a significant amount of money on the app
Not
store.
$700 this year.
No, not quite.
What does it break down to a month?
I was told there would be no math.
It's like it's a little bit over $5 or $5.50, about 50 something.
50 something a month?
Right.
Okay, so $2,000 a year divided by 3. Oh my gosh, look at the number. When you take the
Is that a month?
No,
That's
but
a year.
$2,000 when you divide it.
666.
Wow. It's
Satan's
all
been in this all
coming
along.
together. Divide that by 12, $55.55.
close, 50 something.
That's
Yeah.
honestly really shockingly close. Good job.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
So $50-ish,
Sorry.
$50-ish a month.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Like
It's a lot.
I've never spent that, not even in a year.
And here's my theory on these types of games too. If it's going to cost you $60 to get a real live console game that's like 20, 40 hours of playtime.
Yeah.
You just have to think about that when you're making microtransactions. Is if you get to $60 on Candy Crush.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like Candy Crush's microtransactions are like 99 cents or something like that. I mean, I think you can buy like packs of stuff that are like more, but you really have to be spending like to do. And it wasn't, that was $40,000 of the church's money, but it wasn't like $200,000
Overall on the credit card. Yeah.
Like that's
wait, $214,000 on his Apple ID.
Yeah. That's
so that's not just on the credit card. That's not Amazon and
Can I
stuff.
curse on here's a shit ton of money.
That is a lot of money. And I was wrong. I actually did put this in my notes. The slot machine apps named in the complaint, like Cash Frenzy, Willy Wonka Vegas Casino Slots,
Gambling.
and Wizard of Oz Slot Machine game do not award real money for the wins in the game, but they do allow you to spend real world money to play.
I mean, you can go to Vegas and play those and maybe win some money because those literally exist in Vegas.
Yeah.
The Willy Wonka.
I know. It's the cheesiest ones, too.
God, it's
the
one's right near the
cheesiest
door.
ones.
Yeah.
The priest was approached about erroneous spending. Oh, this gets better. On the parish's account before. At one point, the parish's business manager brought up the case of whatever this was. I don't know what that word is, so I'm going to skip it. Joseph McLoone, who resigned from St. Joseph's Church in 2018. McLoone resigned after he was accused and later pleaded guilty to stealing thousands of dollars in parish funds to pad his salary, fund a beach house on the Jersey Shore, and send money to men. And we ultimately got there.
Okay. This parish seems like they have a problem.
To be clear, this
It's
may not
two
be the
different
same.
people.
This might not be the same parish. I don't think it is.
Okay.
This person I was just talking about, St. Joseph's Church in Downington, and the original one that we were talking about, the original one we were talking about was St. Thomas More Parish in Pottstown.
Well, I just think that maybe some
Pennsylvania.
parishes need to get their stuff together. In Pottstown.
Boy, I'm not here to speak bad of a religion, but it's crazy that any religion with so much scandal can still be like, no, it's cool.
Yeah, I'll
it's
just say,
God ordained.
People are just people.
Period. No matter
And,
what
yeah,
religion you are.
You can choose to be a Catholic or a Christian or Jewish or whatever, but like specifically in the Catholic Christian worlds, like they're just people, and
Yeah.
people look at them like they're gods or like they're specifically chosen. They're just people, imperfect people who make mistakes and who hide things. And honestly, it's most of the time it's worse because they feel the pressure of not being able to be who they really are.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, pastor for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely parts of that are true of me. I wasn't committing to that
No,
right
not
now,
that
saying
level.
like, yes,
But you
I'm
also
hiding
saw-
my real feelings.
But you saw it happen in the church. Like
Yeah.
stuff like that happen a lot. Too.
Yeah, I mean, we can shift gears here for a second, I guess.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Welcome.
It's weird because it is a little bit heavier of a thought for a hardly working rather than a
It's our
through it.
show. Who cares? Deal with it. Just kidding.
But
really.
yeah, that is one of my issues with organized religion is because I've seen so many cases firsthand. This isn't a story from a friend. Firsthand. Someone getting brought up on stage. This is so-and-so. We've prayed about it so much. God gave us the word, the vision that he or she, let's face it, it's always he, is
Yeah.
going to be an elder or our next pastor or leader of life. We just know that God's in this and all this stuff. And then cut to later on down the road where they're covering up or kicking out this person for whatever they did or didn't do.
Yeah.
It's like, how many elders do I have to see who are God ordained, quote unquote, but then get thrown out for money laundering, having an affair, like whatever it is, because people are just people. And I do think, to your point earlier, that when you suppress something, it tends to manifest in other ways. It's kind of like, if you have a ton of water in a container, it's gonna find whatever hole or leak it can be released from. And it's not always going to be great. Sometimes it's going to be the leak in your roof that floods your entire house, you know? And then other times it's going to be something that spills on a tile floor that you can clean up.
Yeah.
To continue a really half-baked metaphor.
That works.
But anyway, I agree with you. I think that's the thing to remember is that people are just people. And anytime you start putting people on a pedestal, and acting like they have some sort of special line to the spiritual, I think it's bad. Can I also say one more thing?
Always.
I've said this to you, but it came up at this, not at the gig that I was doing in Kansas City, but when I was talking with somebody. I have a real problem when people in religious organizations come up to someone and tell them that God told them to tell this to you. Maybe we've talked about this before, but
You and I have talked about this off.
I have a real problem with that.
I've done that when I
Have
was
you?
in the church. Mostly to people I knew, though.
Yeah. I just think I can't speak to your experience with that, but it's like if God had something to say about me,
This is how he's talking through.
yeah, why
this is
would
how he's
he go
talking
to
you.
Jen first?
Because
Why not come to me?
Because you couldn't hear him. And so he spoke to me and I'm speaking to you. I'm just saying what they would say.
I know, but
Sorry.
usually it's like manipulative stuff. Like, God just gave me a vision that you're with the wrong person. And
Oh,
actually,
I've
you're
never
supposed to
done
be
that.
married to me. God gave me a vision that you're supposed to buy me a car. That happened. That happened.
That did happen. Not to me, but to someone that I know.
Yeah.
That was the most absurd and insane thing I've ever heard someone ever like say that God told them. God told me, we prayed about it, and God told us that even though you already gave us money to support our mission, God told us that you guys are supposed to buy us a new car. And I'm like, it's funny that God told you that because I don't think he told them that.
It's not coming
And
through
so it's
clear
not
on
going to
this
come.
end.
Yeah.
Like, not hearing it.
But that's a real story. Not us. I'm not going to say who it was, but that is a real story of something that really happened. And I remember talking about that with them and them being like, it's insane. We're not getting them a car. I was like, damn right, you're not getting them a car.
And that is what I'm talking about. That is why I feel like it's used inappropriately. If God has something to say to you,
He'll say it.
God would say it to you. I don't
Okay.
know. I know nothing about anything. I was just a pastor for 10 years. I know a little something.
I really got into the religious stuff. Sorry, everyone.
Sorry, we'll cut this out and put it in Hardly Working.
No,
through it.
no, keep
no,
it
we
in.
won't. It'll be here. Okay.
But it is interesting to me to talk about that because there were lots of things that were said to me or spoken to me or spoken over me or prophesied or whatever you want to say when I was like in the church and things like that. And a lot of that stuff I believed for a long time.
Sure.
Until I was like, maybe that's not true.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just me.
Well, we
And I
talked
just
about it.
am
I mean,
who
if
I
we're
am.
getting into it, let's get into it. We talked about it. I asked you at one point. There was a pastor that, whatever you want to call it, spoke over you or whatever.
Who I still adore. I think he's a good guy.
Yeah, and he was like, you're going to be a leader of people and all this stuff, and I think something about maybe doing worship or
Yeah, because I was a worship leader at the time.
kind of culminating in you should come to the church I'm planting in Tennessee, move from California and go to Tennessee, which you ultimately didn't do.
Yeah.
And I asked you, I was like, now that you are no longer like in a leadership position, there's no trajectory for you to be
A pastor, a worship leader, a pastor's wife, any of the things.
right. Yeah. Well, you're definitely not
Was
going to
this
be a
close?
pastor's wife because I'm in entertainment full time, baby. But I asked you, like, do you think that was just like BS? And you're like, not really. Like, I still have, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but you're talking about like, I still get the opportunity to pour into people and be a leader and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I said, which is what I think is true, is that I think what it boils down to is I think a lot of people that quote unquote hear things from the Lord or within a church setting, 9 times out of 10, they tend to be encouragers by nature
Yeah.
and intuitive as well. Like I would say, and I say that about myself because I would say that I'm an intuitive person who reads into people's emotions and I have empathy and all of that stuff. So when I see somebody, I can probably look at a group of people and talk to them and know within a few minutes like who the leader is, who needs extra encouragement because they're dealing with hard things in their life, even if I don't know what those hard things are.
Right.
Like I believe that there are people that are intuitive, and I think that these people that spoke in my life were just intuitive about me. I am a leader. I'm a natural leader. I'm very confident in who I am. I'm also a very big protector, and I'm very aware of those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for someone to look at me and say, you're going to be you're going to be an amazing leader and lead people, and like you're going to like touch so many people's lives or whatever they said, like
Like that.
I could
tracks.
look at that and be like, yeah, that's true. Like I was a leader. I was an executive director
Yeah,
of leadership and development. I created training plans, not only for my store, but ones that went on to serve the entirety of the organization that I worked for that are still in circulation and being changed into new things now that I'm not there. Like I did make a difference. I did train people. I did get to lead people. I did it. Did I do it in a church capacity? No.
Right.
But I think that I look at what that person said and go, no, you just were really intuitive
Yeah, and that's what I think it
and an
boils down to.
encourager who was
Yeah,
willing to like step out and be like, I see these things in you. It's not that he saw wrong things in me. It's
Right.
just, I think, and this is getting really into it. I know it's not what we said. It's not hardly working through it. But I think that the church is very good at encouraging people to stay in the church and do things in the church to work for the good of the church.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
But it doesn't mean that those things aren't applicable into real world. And most of the time, we've talked about this, most of the time, as I've gotten older, as I've grown up, as I've seen more life, I've begun to feel sad for some of the people that have stayed in the church.
Right, yeah, we have
because
talked about
I
this.
look at that and I go, man, like you
mean stayed in the church in leadership positions and working there.
To each your own. You got to do what is fulfilling for you, whatever that is.
Right.
And it could be being on stage, being a DJ for a ton of people or at world premieres, or it could be leading worship on a stage for thousands of people every weekend. Like it to each your own, right? But sometimes I look at it and I go, man, like the church is really good about finding talented people
and exploiting those talents specifically in one area.
for
church. Yeah.
Which
I
for
don't
the
mean
growth of the
exploiting
church.
it.
Yeah. But
I
they
mean just like keeping it
they
there.
tap it in. They tap in and say, man, like you're amazing, you're incredible, you're so great. And they
You're
keep
a great
feeding.
singer. You should sing in high school services and college and middle school and singles ministry and main services. And now every night of your week is committed to singing somewhere.
Because you're incredible. Or we're going to make you a worship leader so that you're here and not do the thing that you moved out here to do.
Or God told me you will never be a worship leader.
Yeah, that happened too. And you're right. I mean, actually, that's not
Actually,
true.
that's not right at
I
all.
was a worship leader. Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, so I don't remember how I got there, but I do think that the church is very good at that. And I think, and this is just, man, we're really getting into it. I feel sad sometimes when I look back because you said exploit. I think that's a really strong word, but I also think it's pretty accurate. I think that the church looks for people something the church always says is like, you have to make sure that you're bringing in new, younger faces or else the church will age out. Right. So you always have to be looking at like the younger folks.
Yeah. Particularly young families. Yeah.
Yeah. But I look at that and I go, yeah, if I look back at my experience within the church, when I was younger, like high school, college, that is truly when you had a lot of the like, oh, this is your gifting. Oh, you should come and do this. Oh, we're starting this up. You should come and be a part of this thing. Like it's a really young or a really fundamental time for people where they're trying to figure out what their life is going to be and they're trying to figure out what path they take. And I do feel like the church is very good at pinpointing that and picking people out to keep them in and instead of allowing them to grow outside. And I think that this is a lot. And I think that they're very good at shaming people who choose to do things outside of the church and not use those same talents inside the church.
Yeah.
Which
I agree with
isn't
that.
fair because
Right.
I'm like, if I'm good at this thing and I do it to make money because I've worked hard at it and I've become accomplished in it, I don't necessarily want to give it away for free.
Yeah.
Or do it all the time.
Right.
Sometimes I just want to be filled up to and attend.
Right.
And that's my other bone to pick with the church is that. No, just because you're a leader doesn't mean you have to lead all the time. Sometimes
true.
we can get burnt out too.
Yeah.
And I don't need to feel shamed or bad if I didn't want to do that.
I don't think I ever shamed anybody, and I'm sure there's probably people out there who would disagree
They're
with
yelling at the podcast right now.
They're
I'm just
probably not
kidding.
listening to this podcast
That's
if
true.
they felt shamed by me. But I do remember at those times where I was like, why are you stepping out of being a volunteer? Or why aren't you, why are you bailing on your commitment this Wednesday night? Or why aren't you leading a small group or whatever? Because I didn't understand because I worked at a church. And so my whole life kind of revolved around that. And I got paid to be there.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Not
a big
much, but
thing.
yeah.
But I think that's a big thing people forget is like volunteering is volunteering.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't pay the bills. And we now know as parents with a kid, like married with a kid,
Yeah.
there's a lot of other things happening. There's a lot of other time commitments. Homework takes forever. We've got long, long drives. There's sports. There's gymnastics.
There's all
there's
the
dance.
things.
There's all this stuff. So I have a much better understanding now of why people would step out of their volunteer commitments and that kind of stuff, which I just didn't understand before because I was like, but we need you. And I agree. Like there definitely was that, like, if you're not using your gifts for the church, like then you're not glorifying God with those things. And while I don't think that was ever said directly,
It was said directly to me.
was it?
Yeah, and in my groups of people, different churches though.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Like you and I were at different churches.
Oh, yeah.
So every church is different. But all the same at the same time. It's as someone who's attended like 5 different churches.
Dang. I've only really, really attended one.
Yeah, I've worked at
That's not true, actually.
2 different churches. And
Dang.
yeah.
Well, if anyone else feels this way about their religious experience, I hope this has been fun for you.
But that's something to say too, is I worked at 2 different churches, but I was a worship leader at 2 churches, one of which I did not get paid at.
Yeah, I hope that.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that absolutely insane? Sorry, that I was responsible for leading worship for youth at a church that I did not get paid at. Means I had to help pick the songs. I had to be at rehearsals. I had to help people find their harmonies and make sure that they felt right. And I had to be on stage leading people into a place of worship. But I didn't get paid for it on the main stage as well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I think it's such an interesting thing.
Oh, yeah. I spent years not getting paid for
And
stuff.
this was like a mega church that I know had money. Like, I look back now and go, weird.
Yeah. Weird.
Anyway.
I hope that in the future, maybe there's some hardly working through it that you can talk a little bit more about your experience at some of those places.
Yeah.
Because not just what you're talking about right now with not getting paid, but there's just so many stories of people's insecurities getting projected onto you or other people.
Oh my gosh, I have some crazy stories.
Yeah.
My craziest being probably when I was in the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Save it for another day.
Sure. But I got some good stories.
Yeah, and if you have any good stories, hit us up at Hardly Working Insta. Send us a message.
Tell us your church stories, your crazy church stories.
We'll throw them on the air.
'Cause I have a lot. And I think I'm ready to
burn it down.
Well, I just don't feel the need to hold back for certain people.
Yeah.
I just need to make sure I get their names right.
You want to give their names out?
Yeah, I do. Some of these people, I'm like, you should not be leading people. The way that you lead is not okay. And it's hurtful and it can hurt people. And it would really like negatively affect people. They don't live here anymore. They live in like Kansas or Illinois. I think it's Illinois.
Well, let's not give out too much information about these people, just in case.
I mean, the church doesn't exist anymore. It's shut down, if that tells you anything.
It actually tells us a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Well, let's rein it in a little bit.
Sorry.
It's all
I have
good.
hurt
I can
feelings.
tell. Yeah. And we'll get through it. That's
And
a part of
also,
why
like,
we do this, is
yeah.
to kind of get those hurt feelings out and work through them.
For sure. I've hurt feelings. And also, like, the more I look back at it and the more I process through, the more I go, yeah, that really, like, what you guys did really wasn't okay. I was very young and you guys were 2 older people leading a church, and you probably shouldn't have talked about people in the way that you did.
Yeah.
Or allowed people to talk about people in the way that you did. Because, like, it's hurtful and it's not okay. And shows how Christian you really are, doesn't it? Ugh, such a frustrating thing.
Yeah.
The head pastors. I was like, God.
Catholic priest spends $40,000 on App Store games. We'll dig into it. You know, we'll dig into it another time. A couple more things before we wrap it up. Just a couple more buttons to push.
I will say this: I'd love to post something on Hardly Working here soon that allows people to like share if they have any like crazy stories of things that they experience. Like, I'd love to like talk about that in the podcast.
You mean regarding their time at churches, or just in general?
At churches, I think it'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure.
The most outrageous thing that anyone's ever said to you, or like most outrageous experience you've ever had. I just want to know.
We'll throw it up there. We'll make it happen.
Maybe make a TikTok about it.
Oh, that's a good idea. All right. We'll talk about that off air. We'll figure out what we're going to do there. All good. You got time for a couple more?
Yeah.
One more quick story. Are you okay? You have this look in your eyes.
I'm fired up.
Are you in the studio, or are you
I'm elsewhere,
in the past?
but
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm actually in the future thinking about the TikTok that I'm going to post
you're
that
in the future.
says, tell me about the most outrageous thing that's ever happened to you in church. I'll go first. And
then that's where the stitch happens.
Yeah.
My favorite one of those right now is the like, show me the most ghetto thing in your house.
You sent me a couple of those and I was like, oh my God.
There was
Is that
one-
a Pringles can with holes in it?
Yes, for the shower. They like stabbed holes in a Pringles can, put it over the faucet so it kind of jetted out like a shower
my
head.
God.
The other one that I really liked was
A painted fan.
Oh, instead of having a fan in a room, they painted it on the ceiling.
And then had
And then next to it was like an oscillating fan that they had chained to the ceiling. It was terrible. There was another one, I don't think I sent it to you. It was a big hole in the roof. And someone just took one of those see-through, like translucent umbrellas and stuck it up, opened it up, and they're like, now we have a skylight.
oh my God.
Can you imagine the bugs that are getting in?
A lot.
A lot of bugs.
water bugs.
I am over bugs. We were talking about this yesterday. I was like, I'm so glad we live in a city because I already don't like the bugs we have here. I can't imagine living in a place with grass or any type of outdoorness.
Yeah.
There's too many bugs in the world.
No, thanks. Yeah, I agree.
You know what there aren't too many of so far, though?
What?
Zombie cicadas. I didn't hear anything about that. Anything
Well, we
about
should
it.
look into it because it wouldn't have happened here.
No.
Is it
but
going
I
to happen
feel-
in Denver?
I thought it was supposed to happen at the end of April.
Maybe, I don't know.
All right.
But
We'll
I'm
look
ready for
into
the
it.
last few things you have to tell me.
I have so many things to tell you. I've got so many more videos and audio, so much stuff.
I took up so much time.
It's okay. That's what
Sorry,
I
I'm
love about
tired
you.
and stretchy. Ooh,
I'm tired and stretchy.
I need to stretch.
Okay, this one I'm just going to give you real quick because it involves one of your favorite places.
Disneyland?
No, Belgium.
Oh, Belgium.
Specifically,
Brussels? Bruges.
well, Bruges. Yeah,
Yay.
Specifically Bruges.
We do love Bruges.
We've been
10
there
out of 10.
once. It was
Would recommend
awesome.
going because we
Love
would
it.
go back if we had the opportunity.
Belgian man whose body makes its own alcohol cleared of drunk driving.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes. A Belgian man has been acquitted of drunk driving because he has an auto brewery syndrome, ABS, an extremely rare condition whereby the body produces alcohol.
What?
Yes. So
does
file
he
this
pee
away
it out?
as a good excuse. What?
Does he pee it out or does it just like, is it like glucose?
He doesn't
where-
like bottle it up,
No,
like
but,
pee
like-
in a bottle and
does it
sell
like make it in his bloodstream? It's like,
Yeah.
wow.
So, here's
is
what
he
it says.
always just a little bit drunk?
I didn't get into too many specifics, but maybe.
Where are the facts? Give 'em.
Sorry.
Just
If
kidding.
people come for the hard-hitting
Yeah, they
journalism to hardly working. Ironically, though, this person works at a brewery. I was like, coincidence?
I think not.
I don't know. But basically it said people are not born with ABS, which again is auto brewery syndrome.
What a dumb name.
That's terrible. The
Okay.
A could have stood for alcohol,
Yeah.
but it stands
Alcohol
for
brewing
auto.
system.
Yeah. Hey, that's already better. AABS. Auto alcohol brewing syndrome.
Anywho,
I'm not great with the acronyms.
it's okay.
Oh yeah, so you're not born with it, but you can develop it when someone already has like an intestinal related condition.
Oh, okay.
Maybe IBS leads to ABS. I have no idea. The foot bone's connected to the neck bone. I don't know. But anyway, so we won't dig into it too much, but I just thought that was hysterical. Some poor dude, I don't know, pulled over or arrested for being intoxicated. And he's like, no, really, this is who I am. It's just
That's so funny.
so next time someone accuses you of being intoxicated,
Just have ABS.
I have ABS, and then go look it up, and they probably won't.
And they'll probably arrest you anyway.
Okay, so I've got a couple unpopular opinions, but the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to play this audio, and I wanted to get your take on this.
Okay.
Because I don't know where
Zoning in.
I land, so I'm definitely not sure where you're going to land.
Zoning in.
All right, zone in. Here's our first audio unpopular story. Let's go.
A guy that I went on 2 dates with, two dates with, who had only ever seen pictures of my dog, took it upon himself to look up my address and mail me flowers from my dog on Mother's Day. And not only did he send flowers, but the flowers also came with a card. So this is the card, little dog. Okay. Dear Mom, I think about you every day. Can't wait to see you and give you lots of cuddles and kisses. Happy Dog Mom Day. Love, your number one fur baby. P.S. I heard you met this amazing guy who has 2 dogs and lots of room to play. We should sniff that out sometime. I met this man twice. We went on 2 dates. I maybe spent 4 hours with this person.
He
Hadn't
loves you.
seen him in a week. He'd never been to my apartment. He didn't know where I live, but he found out and sent me flowers. So you guys, be careful out there. Be careful.
So I don't know what to do with this. Is that romantic or is it stalkerish?
So here's the thing. You can tell by the way that she's saying that she's not really into that guy. And so it's stalkerish. But if she really liked the guy, she would have been like, it's so cute. Look what he did.
Okay.
It is kind of creepy, though, that he figured out where she lived and sent her flowers. Because it's this thought of like, now this person knows where I live and I haven't actually invited you there.
So that's what I want to ask you is, so you don't know the guy. So in this scenario, you couldn't tell me if you really liked him or didn't. But where was the line crossing? Was it finding her address after 2 dates?
Yeah.
Was it sending flowers?
No, it's the finding of the address.
So it starts there.
Yeah, because he could have texted her and said, hey, I'd love to send you something in the mail. Like, would you mind sending me an address so I can send, like, I'd love to send you flowers. Is it okay if I get your address or whatever?
Yes, so that would have been the appropriate thing to do.
Yeah.
But he probably like went on her
Wanted to
Facebook
surprise
or
her.
like texted or found her friends or something.
Who knows? But that's the other thing. If he found her friends and they gave it to her, then like not creepy. But if he did research,
So let's say the address isn't creepy.
yeah.
Is the flowers on Mother's Day written from the perspective of her dog weird?
No.
You don't think that's psycho?
No, because he has 2 dogs and she has a dog. And obviously she's shown him pictures of it. Her dog is an important thing.
Yeah, but he
So he's
wrote it
trying
like,
to-
hey, Mom.
I know he's trying to be cute and pithy.
I like
Not
pithy better.
Pithy.
So if I had written you, no, we're already married and in love. If a dude you went on 2 dates with,
If a dude
Send
that Brooklyn
flowers
goes on
from-
2 dates with sends flowers to her on her birthday
no,
from
I can't
her
do it
dog,
from that perspective.
I'd be like, who
Let's
the hell
pretend
is
your
this guy?
cat Mocha is still alive.
My moo.
And after 2 dates with someone, you've been on 2 dates with people before.
Mocha.
They then sent you flowers written from the perspective of your cat on Mother's Day.
My moo.
That would be good for you?
I don't know. I can't put myself there. But I'd love anything from Mocha.
It's not from Mocha. It's from some dude who's only gone on 2 dates
But
with
I'd
you.
believe it was from her. I'd be like, Moo, you got these for me?
Oh
My Mocha
my
bear?
gosh.
Because I don't want to believe it's from the dude, the weird dude. But again, here's what I have to say. It depends on how much you like the guy. Because if you like the guy, you'd be like, oh my God, this is so cute. Like, this is so thoughtful and so cute.
After 2 dates?
Yes,
And
if
not
you
being at
like
your house?
him,
Yeah.
if you clicked and you liked him, you would be like, this is so cute. If you didn't feel that way, you'd be like, this is creepy AF.
See, I agree with your thesis.
I'm
100%.
telling you. I think I'd probably fall in the creepy side.
Yeah.
But it just depends, like I said, how you guys clicked. Like I said, obviously with her, she didn't click with him that way.
You know how you woo someone for real is you show up, you tell them you're going to come to their house. You tell them.
No.
And you show up with a new pair of sneakers that they want. And you say, get in the car, please. Try not to sound like a creep. And then you fly them to the airport and you fly up to San Francisco.
You fly them to the airport?
You fly to the airport.
You drive them to the airport.
Drive to San Francisco. You go to the airport, you go to San Francisco, you spend a day with them, and then you fly back and you drop them off happily back at their home.
That was our first date.
That was our first date.
I think I
didn't
still
fly
have
you to
those
the
shoes.
airport, but do you?
I think they were blue, right?
Couldn't tell you.
They might have been black.
Too
I don't
busy trying to write a card to you from Mocha.
But Moo, she died
Oh.
8 years ago in January.
Yeah, like-
I just said that to you.
So that means we haven't even known each other that long because I never met Mocha.
No, you met Lucky. No, Hunter. Who am
Yeah, I
I?
was like, who's Lucky?
My parents' cat now.
Yeah, I was
You
trying
met
to think of a cat that existed
you
and
met-
doesn't anymore named Lucky.
Hunter.
Yeah.
But yeah, you didn't ever met Moo.
Met Winter, that's for sure.
That little.
It was terrible. We'll talk about that later.
Anywho,
All right, let me give you 1 or 2 more and then we'll get out of here, okay? Because we got to paint our house and pack for Colorado.
All right, let's do it.
I'm excited about this next one because I believe it to be true. Cookie shops will go the way of frozen yogurt soon enough.
no.
Crumble, Crave, Insomnia, they're all garbage peddlers. And for some reason, consumers have convinced themselves it's a good deal.
I think it depends on what you're looking for. I actually think that some of those can be fun for like birthdays and gifts and things like that.
Look, I won't go into my feelings on these cookies.
I know.
If you're interested, go back 60 episodes to the first season. You can hear
He
us
does
talk
not
about
like crumbled
that.
cookie. I'll save you some time.
Yeah. Well, but still go back and listen.
Some of
to
them
all
are good though.
It's not that they're not good. It's that they're astronomically expensive.
They are very expensive.
And I understand you have to have expensive. You can't just sell a cookie for $1 and stay in business, particularly in Southern California. You'll never make enough money. But I agree with this person that I think that this cookie thing is a huge fad, just like frozen yogurt was a fad, just like cupcakes was a fad. Yes.
All the cupcake shops are starting to close. It's very sad for me.
Yeah, I'm probably repeating myself from whatever episode that was, but I saw this and I was like,
it's probably true. I mean, at this point in time, I'd rather go to Porto's and get something from there.
Dude, Porto's is legit. I don't think it's national. So
I want a dulce de leche.
Porto's
cake.
is like is it a Cuban bakery? Oh, so good.
If you ever come to LA, you should definitely try it.
Yeah, there's
10
at
out of
least
10 would
2.
recommend Porto. There's a lot more than 2.
I don't know. I said at least 2. I know there's one in Burbank and one in Northridge, but I don't know how many
There's
Portos there are.
There's one near the Pirates thing we went to.
Oh, yeah, in Buena Park. Yeah,
I was like, I don't know.
So
there's a
at least
ton of them
3.
now. There's more than that, but they're all out here. They're delicious.
They are pretty freaking good.
And they're
I'm not gonna
beautiful
lie.
inside.
And it's cheap. Like the pastries are some of the pastries you can get for less than $1.
So good.
And they
So
are
worth it.
better than what you're going to get at
And
Starbucks
the food's
or whatever.
delicious too. The coffee's pretty good. It's not my favorite, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
like
because
sweet
we're
coffee.
particular about our coffee.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan for your coffee right now.
thanks, Homebrewed. Located in Pasadena.
That's her nickname for Ryan. Homebrewed. Sup, Homebrewed.
Homebro.
Oh, that's funny.
No, but Homebrewed. And there's 2 in Pasadena. Check it out. It's great. Get
is
the
really
toddy. The iced toddy lattes.
Iced toddy. I almost called it a hot toddy, but that's like a boozy drink, right?
Yeah, but these are toddies.
These are just normal
They
iced
also have
coffees.
lychee tea there, which is Simon's favorite.
Oh, Simone's my favorite.
Or you can call it lychee, but Simone says lychee. She's South African, so I go with her. Lychee.
And you will go with her to South Africa.
Hopefully one day.
All right, I got 2 more that I want to run through real quick.
All right, let's go.
okay?
I'm ready.
The first one I know you're going to
ready.
love.
I'm
And
ready.
as much as you probably didn't like the crumble one we just did, I think you're going to love this one. Folks should start mixing raisins into their mac and cheese.
Nah.
Tell me why that's a great idea.
Nah, man, that's whack.
Okay, let me give you a little bit of pushing, though.
No.
You're not a raisin person.
I don't mind raisins.
Really?
Yeah, I
Is
like
it Brooklyn
raisins.
who doesn't like raisins?
My mom used to have packs of the raisins, and I wouldn't mind having packs of raisins at her house. Maybe I'll start doing that because they're a nice little snack.
Well, listen to this. Cheese and grapes or wine is such a staple combination that I'm surprised mac and cheese with raisins, that combo isn't happening. Mac and cheese tends to be really thick and creamy, while the raisins do a great job cutting through it and adding a different dimension for the flavor.
I don't need to cut through the cheese.
In terms of texture, it also adds some variety to the usual soft/silliness of the dish. I've never heard someone describe the texture of mac and cheese as
Silly.
silliness.
Also, bacon does the same thing.
Bacon ruins mac and cheese. Bacon ruins mac
know,
and cheese.
but I'm saying,
it's
if-
already salty.
Listen, I just need you to just hear me. I don't need anything extra in my mac and cheese, except maybe some barbecue sauce on top at times.
Like Stonefire style?
Yeah. But listen, I like mac and cheese the way that it is. I like the creaminess. I like the cheddar. I'm also picking mac and cheese that I like, Cracker Barrel white cheddar or Velveeta.
Those are the 2 good ones.
I'm not
Sorry,
picking
Kraft.
one that I don't like that I need to add something more to. I'm picking the 2 that I'm like, yes, these are the ones that I like just the way that they are.
Yeah, I'm with
I
you.
do not need to add raisins.
You don't know, though.
I do not need to add bacon.
Maybe on this season's finale, just like we've tried foods and drinks before, I'm going to get one of those little Velveeta cups. I'm going to put raisins in it.
I would eat it.
Yeah.
I would try it.
All right. Maybe for Hardly Holidays. We're not even close to that.
Different types of fruit cake.
This is a mac and cheese fruit cake.
Putting fruit in different things to make a different version of fruit cake.
Will it
Fruit cake?
All right. Let me hit you with one more because this one I actually think I'm not sure how you're going to feel about it, but it is a big part of our life. Constant location sharing is weird.
No, it's great.
Here's the context.
Sorry.
I'm a
yawning.
31-year-old woman and never once have had the desire for someone else to have my location at all
You've
times.
never trusted anybody in your whole life.
No one needs to have that information, they continue, not my boyfriend, parents, or even best friend. I've also never felt the need to have access to anyone else's location, including my boyfriend's. All it does is breed nosiness and paranoia.
I disagree, but to each their own.
So I feel the same way, except I think I've seen sometimes where like whole families will do it or like friends will do it.
I know
Like,
I know some families that do that.
I don't,
do
and
too.
look, to each their own about families, because I understand like if you're a parent and you want to know where your kid is, because we'll do that, I'm sure.
Well, we already do.
But groups of friends, like similar age friends, just sharing
That's
locations but we've
I had
known
friends
people
in high
like
school
that.
who did that. Yeah, I know it's weird. I have never. You're the person I share my location with, and that's kind of it. And I like it that way. If something happens, I want you to be able to find me, and vice versa.
I do agree that it's weird if it's just like random friends and stuff. But like
Yeah. Did you have friends in high school that did that?
I didn't have there was no iPhone when I was in high school.
Oh, I had friends who did that. And I was like,
Yeah, and I don't know
Weird.
when location sharing started on the iPhone.
I don't know. My mom-
doubt that it was like the first
my mom
model.
bugged me forever to do that. Love you, Mom.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't even
Wasn't
it wasn't even iPhone. It was something else because they had Androids.
yeah, it was like find me or something. I wasn't that. I have no idea what it was, but I was
Share
like,
my something. Who knows?
she did that with me, with my brothers, and none of us ever did it. But Mom, I share my location with my husband now. It's good enough.
That's right. So I can tell you the ditch in which she's located when
Yeah.
we can't find her.
Exactly.
Or at least we'll find her phone.
We might be together though. So
Yeah, that's true. Can I tell you, I've gotten more afraid of flying lately because of the stuff that's happened in our life.
really,
Yeah, like I fly a million times a year, and I never really worry about turbulence unless it's really bad.
I know. Well, welcome to the fact that we're going back to Denver, where that's the worst turbulence when landing because of the Rocky. Is that where the Rocky Mountains are?
It is.
And that's why I hate flying into Denver. And I've never actually been to Colorado, but I've flown into the Denver airport many a time, and I absolutely dread it every time. So I'm really not looking forward
I
to
think
being in Denver tomorrow.
this will be my 6th time flying into Denver in the last 30 days.
I know.
Yeah.
I hate flying into Denver.
Just in case you wondered how much I truly fly and don't talk about,
It's a lot.
this is just Denver.
I hate
Just
Denver.
Denver.
I
Yeah.
hate it.
It's going to be a bumpy ride. But you know who will be with you the whole time?
You.
Whoever is sitting in the middle seat between us.
No. We're right next to each other. Baby.
It's going to be good times, good times. So speaking of that, that's what I'm looking forward to this week. We're going to NTI. I'm not looking forward to the flight, but really, really looking forward to my time with my friends at NTI, the gals that put that together, as well as hanging out with the thousands and thousands of nurses that I've come to know and love.
And me, I hope.
And hanging out with you, which I do every day.
Yeah, but this week is special. Lots of things to celebrate this week.
Got birthdays, we got anniversaries.
5-year anniversary. Not
5
just
years.
Any anniversary.
Nope.
5 years, everybody.
It's going to be good, good times. We'll find a place to go eat and hang out there.
Yeah.
And actually, let's see. No, by the time this airs, it won't be our anniversary.
No, just a couple days until.
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, that's all I've got on my calendar to look forward to. Anything you want to add?
No,
I think that's it, huh?
that's it. And hopefully getting our floors into our house. That's like what I'm looking forward to when we
Yeah.
get back. We're going to Din Tai Fung with Brooklyn for our
Oh, yeah.
anniversary.
For our family-versary.
And then we're going to put floors into our house. Woo!
It's going to be
I'm very excited.
amazing. It's going to be good. Floors won't be in by the next time you hear us, so
No.
stay tuned for that update. But until then,
They might be.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I bet they won't, but we can try. Hope you will have first of all, thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part
This
of
crazy episode.
this crazy episode. And every crazy episode, it does go off the rails, and that's kind of when I have the most fun.
Yeah.
It was a wild adventure. Many, many stories, many videos, many departures and digressions into real life things.
Yeah.
And that's just how
That's
life
just how it is. It's how hardly working is because we're hardly working half the time.
Absolutely.
Literally, like our brains.
Barely even working. Well,
Anywho,
hope you guys have a wonderful week. Hope you have safe travels if you're going anywhere. Hope you are surrounded by people who love and care about you, and that you love and care about, and that you feel that love today and every day. And even if none of that happens, I hope you spend most of your time this week
hardly working.
Bye.
Bye.